Shows come and go, but only few live long enough to air as long as CBS's successful show NCIS has. Today we bring you our top picks when it comes to the saddest moments in NCIS. Now, without keeping you waiting any longer, let's get right into today's rankings. First things first, let's talk about the show. The show aired in 2003 and is based on the real-life Naval and Crime Investigation Service, which consists of a fictional team of agents that are led by Mark Harmon's Leroy Jethro. The aim of the team is to investigate cases that are related to the U.S. Navy or Marine Corps. The cast or core team have changed over the years for whatever the reasons they had to leave the show. To fill in the gap, the directors had to cast new actors to make the teams. Regardless of the changes, fans have stayed loyal to the series and its ups and downs. Ziva finds her father's body. While NCIS is mostly focused on the cases of every episode, the directors have done a wonderful job to make the characters come to life with all the different personality traits they possess. Although this isn't an emotional show, the show does a wonderful job at drawing the fans in whenever something heartfelt is supposed to happen. Cote de Pablo's Ziva David has been a character in the show since the third season, and fans have enjoyed her performance. There have been many emotional Ziva David scenes over the years, but this one takes the cake as fans cannot forget the scene where Ziva David mourns the death of her father with fellow agent Tony DiNazzo. This scene shows the raw emotion and winding relationship and bond between Ziva and Tony. In season 10 of NCIS, the episode Shabbat Shalom features Ziva David reuniting with her father, Eli, who is also a director of the Mossad. Both Eli and Ziva have a rocky relationship since her childhood, but now they were together to finally put the pieces together and sort the relationship out, but in vain. An unknown armed assailant makes his way into director Vance's home and shoots her father Eli dead, along with Vance's wife, and she never gets the closure that she wants. Fans reviewed the episode and had to say that Ziva's crying over Eli's dead body sold us, and we felt crushed by the atmosphere of the episode. Call of the Silence. NCIS is also famous for the episode that was part of the initial days of NCIS when season 2 aired. The entire length of the episode, Call of the Silence, kept fans weeping till the very end. The episode features Ernie Yost, who is a World War II veteran that has to live the rest of his life with survival's guilt. The Medal of Honor winner and war veteran lived with PTSD as he confessed to the team that he was the reason that his war buddy Wade had died. Gibbs, Kate, and the rest of the team vow to find out what really happened to Ernie Yost's friend. Wade in the whole episode turns out to be a powerful and emotional journey. Fans recollected the scenes and stated that the scene with Kate dancing with Ernie as his tears rolled down his cheek was enough to make them cry. Jimmy Palmer saves a man. NCIS makes sure to focus on the individual members of the cast and their personality and character development as they make it out of every case throughout the episodes. Most of the team members have to go out and work in the field, some don't, but there are some sure moments that non-field workers get to shine in the spotlight. This happens exactly to Jimmy Palmer, who is a medical examiner for the team, and he decides to risk his life and put it on the line for a man trying to jump off from a building in the episode Keep Going of season 14. The episode makes sure to show the many flashbacks Jimmy has about his life prior to joining the team in his childhood. Jimmy Palmer pours his heart out to the man trying to relate to him by telling of the wonderful things his coworkers have done for him throughout the years as a part of the team. All these references go out towards Gibbs, which finally consoles the man and helps him off the ledge and explains to them that he is not the one responsible for his father's death. Paula's death in Grace Period. Like many other shows, NCIS has made great use of all the recurring characters throughout the season to build upon and expand the universe of NCIS, but things don't always work out for the characters as Paula Cassidy, played by Jessica Steen, unfortunately dies. Paula Cassidy was introduced back in season 1 as an agent who priorly worked at Guantanamo Bay before she made her way up to reassignment to the Pentagon. Although Paula's screen time wasn't all that much to talk about, she still made lots of appearances throughout episodes through season 1 to season 4. It was still very hard for fans to deal with the death of Paula in the episode Grace Period. After Paula's team is killed by a suicide bomber, Paula takes to the stage and sacrifices herself by tackling another would-be suicide bomber, who promptly sets off another bomb, killing the both of them. Tony, who isn't able to get to Paula due to the secret door being locked, expresses his agony as he blames himself for not being able to save Paula in time. The Pearl Harbor episode. The episode The Arizona, which aired as a part of season 17, doesn't follow the NCIS team trying to solve another murder or crime. This episode instead focuses on the team being introduced to Joe Smith, who tells the team that he was on the USS Arizona ship during the Pearl Harbor tragedy, where the Japanese attacked the US soil and killed thousands of US soldiers. To pay tribute to all his fellow veterans and friends that he lost in the war, he wants his ashes to be scattered at the Pearl Harbor location. The team does really want to help, but first wants to confirm his identity to make sure he is who he claims to be. But a problem comes up as he was 18 at the time and had to sign up with his brother's name, and this does make things really complicated for the team. While this happens, Gibbs and the team are still unable to confirm if he really was on the USS Arizona ship, and while all this is being said, Joe passes away from a heart attack, but things don't turn out to be so bad as they find a scar in his body that does confirm the story to be true and of his presence at Pearl Harbor. Fans found Arizona to be heartwarming and moving as it was the perfect episode. At the end of the episode, Gibbs uses the opportunity to sit down with McGee and share some of his own stories of the war and his own lingering trauma. Gibbs' past. Season 3 features an episode that features Gibbs' past history. It gives us an insight to the horrible incident that scarred life. Both Gibbs' wife Shannon and his daughter Kelly were murdered. The character's face tells the story perfectly in every episode, and you can tell that he lives with the events of the murder every day. This insight into Gibbs' life made fans more empathetic towards him. Mike Franks. Gibbs and Mike Franks were the best of buddies. Both Gibbs and Mike had their fair share of ups and downs and their very own heartbreaking moments, but the one that takes the cake for us is the one where Mike Franks dies at the hands of the port-to-port killer. We all know that Frank was already sick and dying, and that he would have died eventually, but to see him be taken away from Gibbs like that broke the hearts of many of the fans. The episode proceeds with Gibbs mourning the death of his friend as he is building a casket for him, the death of Diane. Gibbs decided to finally marry Diane. She was Fornell's ex-wife and only appeared in a handful of episodes. Gibbs was pretty happy with her, but it was pretty heart-wrenching to see her get shot and die just like Kate Gibbs' former wife did. Gibbs and Diane had a clear connection, and their marriage had only lasted for a short duration. It was pretty sad to see Gibbs deal with the death of another person he loved. What's sad is to see her tell him that he was her Shannon. Episode Scope. NCIS put out its 300th episode with what we would consider the best hour of our life, with a case that featured details on the ambush of Special Ops Sniper, where all the snipers died except for one Marine, Gunnery Sergeant Aaron Davis, who was being treated for his PTSD at Walter Reed Medical Center. Gibbs and Davis had some great moments and conversations in this episode that left us and the fans touched. The best part was the team trying to help Davis and Gibbs, and Davis' own rendition of Hallelujah. That's all the saddest moments we got for NCIS. Which one was your favorite saddest moment? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. With that said, we shall see you in the next video.